The theme of this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations, as set by the head of state, was returning the river to the course, perhaps guided by the heightened war against graft. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his speech capturing the journey the country has made since the independence, saying the unity of Kenyans was vital for sustained development.
Today, we are called upon to honor their commitment and sacrifice by being true to the ideals that they lived and died for, most especially the ideal of one Kenya, united, strong and prosperous, with freedom and justice for all.
President Kenyatta urging Parliament to fast-track the enactment of the Conflict of Interest Bill 2019, which among others proposes banning of state and public officers from conducting business with the government. The president taking issue with the parliamentarians acting as attorneys for those facing graft-related charges. The president further directed Treasury and Kenya Revenue Authority to review tax burdens, particularly for small and medium enterprises. This even as he directed the National Treasury and the Judiciary to come up with mechanisms to ensure that commercial disputes below the value of 1 million shillings are exempted from court fees.
I have also directed that the National Treasury and the Office of the Attorney General to engage with the Judiciary and formulate a framework that will anchor the waiver of court fees for commercial disputes of less than 1 million shillings, effective 1st March 2020, and further cause amendments to the advocate's remuneration order to make advocate charges in such court cases more accessible to Kenyans.
The head of state also took a chance to tabulate milestones his administration has achieved in developing the country, indicating that the Universal Healthcare Pilot Program will be rolled out in all 47 counties early next year.
I indeed urge all our county governments and the Ministry of Health to conclude and sign the Intergovernmental Partnership Agreement by the beginning of next year.
Further, the President directed the National Treasury, the ministry responsible for housing, moves to Parliament a revision to the legal requirement in respect to the Housing Fund levy to make the contribution voluntary with immediate effect,
and to ensure that the implementation of the program is not derailed any further. I have directed and ordered that the Ministry of the National Treasury, as well as the ministry responsible for housing, to move to Parliament for a revision of the legal requirement in respect of the Housing Fund levy to make the contribution voluntary, and this should happen with immediate effect.
On the Building Bridges initiative, the President said Kenyans have an opportunity to use its proposals to create a united nation. Deputy President William Ruto and Prime Minister Motley of Barbados, who is on a state visit to Kenya, also addressed the celebrations at Nyayo National Stadium. Kevin Washira, Channel 1 News.